my mom's had problems with anesthesia, so he was worried about me having problems with it. And I told him like what her issues were and like what she went through and what it did to her. And so he was like, okay, well, if you we're gonna do a test dose, and if you feel weird, you need to let me know because you could be having a reaction. And I said, okay. My brother had to hold my hands, and he said, before your next contraction, you need to tell me so I can put it in there so you're not shaking and you don't mess it up and get the needle stuck in, and I can hit your spot like correctly. And I didn't even really feel anything. I felt like a little bit of pressure. It didn't hurt at all. He was so nice to me. He was just talking me through it. He was coaching me through it. He was like, you just need to breathe. And it worked for an hour. And then I guess my labor sped up too fast because they put me on Pitocin because she said my contractions were slowing down too much. And they suspected that maybe by 12 that night I was going to have him because we got in there right, it was like right at 9. And we live almost 2 hours away. My mom was driving kind of fast because we were freaking out. And I didn't know if I would make it or not. And my mom gets there, and she's holding my hand, and right as my mom gets there, my stepdad gets there, and my sisters, my brother, and my stepdad and my mom are all in the room, and then the nurse walks in there, and she checks me, everyone's turned around except for my mom. She's like, I don't carry my child, I didn't really care either, I'm going through labor. And I've already had everyone down there, and she's like, okay, I can feel the head, it'll be a few more hours, just let me know when you're ready to push. No joke, 30 seconds later, she probably didn't even make it 10 steps out the door, I say I'm ready to push. And she runs in there, and they weren't prepared at all. I had to wait. She's like, hold your pushes, don't push, because we're not ready for you to push yet. We had to wait for the doctor to get down there, which she got down there surprisingly fast. And I went from a 5 to a 10 in like 30 seconds. And so she got in there, and she was like, are you ready to push? And I said yes, and I just closed my eyes, and I was pushing, and it felt so good to push, but it hurt to not push. So like in between my pushes, I was like, I can't do this. This hurts. I can't do it. And I didn't even know he was born. Like I was ready to go push again. And she was like, he's here. And I didn't hear any crying. And I freaked out. I'm like, because I've watched movies, I'm like, oh, they're supposed to cry when they're born. And she was like, I was like, is he okay? And she's like, yeah, he's fine. I was like, why isn't he crying? She said they don't generally cry. They just need to get that first breath of air. And she patted him on the butt, he was upside down, she patted him on the butt, and then she flipped him over, and she handed him to me after my mom cut the cord, which we didn't have a birth plan planned out because this was really unexpected, it just sprung up on us. And so things didn't really go the way I wanted them to go, but I was okay with it because he was there, he was healthy, he was fine. So she hands him to me and lays him on me for skin to skin, and I just bawled and bawled and bawled, and I was like, he's so cute, he's so perfect, I'm so in love with him. And then I'd be like, Mom, he's so perfect, I'm so in love with him. And my mom was like, okay, we get it. After like the 20th time, she was like, I've heard it all. And then they went and cleaned him up, and they wrapped him up, and they brought him back to me. They were just checking his height and how, like, everything. They were making sure he's healthy, listening to his heart. And then I got him, and then she said, we'll just wait for your blood work to come back to see how long you'll be here. And I said, okay. And then by that time, it had already been a few hours. He was born at 4:20. And it had already been a few hours. I want to say it was like 7 or something. I hadn't eaten all day. I was starving. They wouldn't let me eat. They wouldn't let me drink because they thought I was going to have surgery. And, my mom went to go, where did she go? I think she went to Raising Cane's, but I don't know. I don't remember. But, it was really good. I don't really like chicken, but I think that was one of the best meals I've ever had. And then the lady brought me food for dinner, and then she comes in there at like 1 o'clock in the morning. She's like, "Are you hungry?" I'm like, "I'm starving." So she brought me 2 sandwiches, a Sprite. She brought me something else. I don't remember. I want to say it was something sweet, but I don't remember. And then the doctor comes back in that morning, and she's like, "You're gonna have to stay here for a few more hours." And so I was like, okay, thinking I was gonna get to go home that night because I was tired of the hospital. I just wanted to bring my baby home. And then she comes back in there, and she's like, "Okay, well, your blood isn't good enough. You still have really low iron. We're gonna start putting you on supplements because you could pass out. Something could happen. You could fall and hurt yourself. And we want you to heal because I tore." And so I was like, okay, how long am I gonna have to stay? She said not too long. Another day passes. We've already been there for 3 days. And then she's like, "We're going to try to get your paperwork done before 4 so we can get you home. If not, you're going to have to stay another night." I was not having it. I filled out all that paperwork. I was like, "Here you go. I'm ready to go home. I want to bring my baby home. I want to go home. I want to sleep in my own bed." And because I didn't really get sleep, I breastfeed. So I was tired because I stayed up with him most of the nights, feeding him, getting used to him. I was scared because I didn't want him to like choke or something, you know, I guess new mom fears. And so then we ended up getting home. We still had a 2-hour drive. I was worried about the drive. I didn't want anything to happen. I was paranoid. And we ended up making it home. And that was my dad's first time seeing, well, no, he came to see me at the hospital, actually. My mom stayed at the hospital, but she was tired. She was emotional. So she ended up going home, like, the second night because she had been working nights. And, we finally got home, and I was so happy. I got to eat whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. I got to, feel comfortable, you know, like, get actually dressed because they kept me in a gown for a while. They wouldn't let me walk. I got to shower. I was excited. You know, I was pumped. I was home. And that's that. I mean, he was wheezing really bad in the beginning, but they didn't say it was anything, so it freaked me out. I thought they were nuts. I was like, "Y'all are crazy. Don't tell me that there's nothing wrong with my child when he's wheezing." But 5 months later, and he's healthy, he's good, you know, he's really smart, you know, he laughs all the time, he's rolling over, he's jumping up and down in his Johnny jumper. He's a really healthy baby. He's happy. And I am too, you know. I'm fortunate to not go through the postpartum depression. I went through depression when I was pregnant, but afterwards, I still don't, I mean, I'm happy. I'm fine. I don't get out of the house much, but I don't really care. I don't really like getting out of the house. I kind of dread it, actually. But, you know, I clean, I cook for everybody, I make sure things are done, and that's all they need, and that's all I need, and I have everything I need here. If I need something, I go out and get it. But, you know, I can't believe he's already 5 months. Time goes by so fast. I miss my belly, too. But I'm glad he's here, I'm glad he's healthy, I'm glad nothing went wrong. You know, I think of things that could have went wrong, but why should I? You know, there's people out there that don't get to experience what I have, so I need to enjoy it while I have it instead of worrying about what's going to happen in the future or what will happen tomorrow or 30 minutes from now. But that's my pregnant at 16 story, and you know, it's okay. You know, he wasn't a mistake. He just wasn't, we didn't plan to have him that early. And his dad wasn't in his life at first, but now he is. He's trying. It's hard because he doesn't live here.
There's your child. I fed him and I changed his diaper.
And there he is. Say hi, buddy. Just in time. He's a chunk. He's a junkie. He's a big boy. But I'm happy. And he is too, aren't you? He's enjoying the view. It's really nice outside. But if you, excuse me, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want. I will upload videos more often now. I've just been kind of working, you know, getting to try to finish things at home, make money. But I will be uploading content a lot more. This is definitely fun. This is just a hobby, you know, me talking to a camera and people watching it. But, you know, if you like, give it a thumbs up. If you want, subscribe. Leave a comment down below. If you're mean, then you're mean. If you're nice, then kudos to you. We need more of you in this world. So yeah, that's my story, and this is my love, my life, love of my life. Can't you see? So thank you guys for tuning in and listening to me ramble on for like 40 minutes. I hope you enjoyed.